You don't need more content tips, you don't need a perfect niche, and you definitely don't need to jump on the latest Instagram trend. You probably watched tons of videos, tried different strategies, and still feel like something isn't clicking. The real reason you haven't built your personal brand yet, you don't know how to show up in a way that feels right. And honestly, I get it. Most people who don't move forward are secretly afraid they'll look like just another cringefluencer. Or maybe you thought, wait, let me find myself first before I post something online, choose colors, or even create a website. Spoiler alert, you don't find yourself first. I believe you know exactly who you are, but sometimes it's hard to read the label when it's you inside the jar. Hey, I'm Julish, and if you want to learn more about personal branding, then make sure to hit the subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss when another episode goes live. You most probably heard people say, just be yourself. But what does that actually mean? Sharing everything? Being completely unfiltered? Or something else? With authenticity being such a huge buzzword these days, it's easy to think it's something we can just passively discover. Like one day we wake up and go, well, here I am, finally. But let me tell you what I see instead. I see business owners exhausted from showing up on social media. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they're overthinking how they should show up. So the way I see it, and the way I explain it to my clients is, authenticity isn't about finding yourself. It's about aligning how you show up with what's already there. We play so many different roles in life. We're parents, business owners, community members, and friends. So when someone tells us to just be ourselves, we probably think, okay, but which one? And that's a problem, right? We are somewhat multidimensional beings. It's difficult to know which parts of us to highlight. The caregiver you are for your children, the one that's deep and introspective, the one that's outgoing and funny, the one that's focused and professional. The point is, we're not just one thing. And that's why people get stuck. Not because they don't have ideas, but because they don't trust the ones they already have. I think it's not so much about lacking ideas, it's about lacking permission, really. Permission to say, yes, that's me. This is how I want to show up, and that's how people should experience my brand. And that's really why I love talking about brand archetypes or archetypes, because instead of randomly trying to figure out your brand, they give you a framework rooted in psychology. If you want to learn more about it, I'll link to a playlist right here. Something I also hear a lot is this idea of authenticity meaning being spontaneous. Like, if it's not 100% in the moment, it's fake. But if you think about your favorite creators, they most probably don't post whatever, whenever. They have a signature vibe and a signature message. And that's the point. The strongest, most recognizable brands, they're not randomly showing up. They're intentional. If you think about Casey Neistat or Emma Chamberlain, they don't decide to wake up one day and just wing it. No, their brand is crafted and intentional. And does that make it fake? Also no, because it's rooted in who they are. And that's the key. The more intentional you go about it, the more effortless it will feel. Let's say you're naturally the friend people turn to for advice, the one who loves breaking things down and sharing insights. You could fight that and think, I don't want to sound too preachy. Or you could own that part of yourself and structure your brand like the sage archetype. Think TED Talks, Simon Sinek, or Malcolm Gladwell. These people don't force personality. They lean into what already comes to them naturally. So if you've been overthinking your personal brand, this is your permission to stop trying to be someone you're not and start amplifying what's already there. And if you're thinking, okay, but how do I actually start showing up like this? I got you. Because clarity doesn't come from thinking about it forever, it comes from starting. So here's something you can do right now to get unstuck. I want you to think about a moment where you felt 100% yourself, where you felt most alive, where you felt most authentic. What were you doing? Were you leading, teaching, creating, connecting? And now I want you to imagine turning that feeling into a brand. How would that version of you show up online? What would they talk about? What kind of energy would they bring? And this is your starting point. And if you're ready to take this a step further, I've got something for you. The personal brand checklist designed for you to gain clarity on what already makes you unique, so you can start showing up in a way that feels great. I'll link to it in the description of this video. And of course, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any new episodes. Till then, take care, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.